Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 21 with the Baltimore Orioles. My friends, last season was a season to forget where virtually every single player, every bullpen reliever got injured. But let's talk about what actually did happen last season in terms of how our team did. Danny Moreno led the league in OPS and slugging and runs. Is he on his way to a third MVP? I doubt it. Probably not this season, but good Lord, did he put together a fine season. Dave Johnson, first of all, did us the favor of not opting out of his contract, and then turns around and delivers one of the best seasons of his career. He has been maddeningly good at playing baseball, I've got to say. Bob Solis had a tiny bit of a down year, but still led the league in home runs, and at bats, and RBI. Yeah. And the person with the better slugging percentage than him was probably his own teammate, who beat him by literally 1 percentage point. So there you go. Jordan Diaz had to do a lot of lifting this season. I am not at all, do not begrudge him having a tiny bit of a down offensive season. But the man knows what he has to do. Amaya is a bit more troubling. I think of all the players who had down seasons, his is the most concerning because it's so far off of his normal career trajectory. Like, his slugging percentage fell by over 100 points. But his batting average didn't drop by as much. This is a problematic season. But I am somewhat confident that he'll bounce back. We'll just have to see how he does. Tim Yeager was our right fielder, and he was okay, I suppose. Good Lord, that's a lot of strikeouts. We may need to find a different right fielder. He's okay. Given what we paid for to get him, he's fine. Luis Jimenez. My dude, you keep distracting me. Because you're a very, very good contact hitter with decent gap power, but you still have a below league average bat because you don't get on base enough. And you're not a great third baseman either. Metzler was fine, but again, underpowered. Danny Allison was awful. Like, bro, you gotta be repping gold glove level defense in order to hit this badly. Maybe Andres Velez deserves a chance at shortstop. I don't know. It's the same problem we've had for the last couple of seasons if you think about it, where the top half of the lineup is great and the bottom half is a little bit less so. Although here, again, we did have some talented players, but I think we could probably do better. We also totally overhauled the rotation in a couple of ways. Specifically, we traded Rodrigo Rivera. We brought in Victor Vega, who so far hasn't been super impressive, but hasn't been terrible. He maybe just needs a few more innings to get used to his role. Let's talk about the good pitchers, though. Tim Locke had a very good season. Led the league in wins, which I didn't expect. And I think this is probably going to be this upcoming season. We're going to take off the gloves. We're going to let him pitch with no pitch count and see what he can manage. Because he's a very, very good pitcher. Jordan Mata turned in a pretty fair season. And Vega still has some room to grow. We did get, Juan Castaneda was the rare reliever who actually stayed healthy for most of the season. He did quite well. Jimmy Colna probably deserves a bit of a bigger role than he's gotten. We need to talk about the other starters. Dan Elliott was not great. He gave up way too many home runs. And again, ground baller, good movement, still gave up 20 homers. That's a home run every start. That's not good. That can't happen. Sonny Hoskins. Gave up 53 home runs. 53. 5-3. This is over. Sonny, I can't have you on this team anymore. Your strikeout rate fell. Your walks are still good, but you just got lit the fuck up. And I can't have you on my team anymore. So I'm gonna trade you. It's just a question of what I can get for you. Because this it can't keep happening. I'm gonna look at all players, and we're gonna see what kind of offers I get. I'd love another starter. I'd love to upgrade at second or short, but I'm gonna stay pretty open and make sure that I only get the very best kind of players I can get my hands on. I'm looking for green, and the green is mostly relievers. Blue is relievers. It looks like mostly relievers is what's being offered to me. Okay. Let us switch to second base. I'm just trying to narrow down my market so I can see if there's a good fit for this team. Jeremy Murphy, God no. Not with that arm strength. I'm not going to get undersold on Sonny Hoskins. I want to get something that is of significant value to this team. Andy Brookshire, not really. Any shortstops? You're an interesting player, but all you are is just interesting to me. You're not necessarily what I'm looking for. Hector Aguilar, no. Dave Martin, no. I don't dislike Bobby Chamberlain. I like his plate discipline. I like his gap power. He's a pretty decent second baseman or shortstop, but I'm not getting Mike Everman back. That's a sucker's bet. I find it ironic that Mitch Leathers is actually a bad shortstop. I mean, he'd be a reasonably effective second baseman, but I kind of like Kevin Hutchcraft. I mean, maybe. No, let's finally look at starting pitchers. And this may be where we actually pull the trigger. A guy like J.R. McCann could be decent. But he gives up home runs just as badly. Michael Coxton is intriguing. He's pretty far away from the majors, though. Mike Parker is just Sonny Hoskins with the other arm. I can't have someone with movement that's that low. No, I definitely don't want a fly ball pitcher. I think Coxton might be the path. And I'm gonna take you off of untouchable. I'm gonna see if I can get you to throw in another prospect. I can't trade for him. Can I get Kevin DeMello? No, not worth it. Nope. Alright, we'll go back to their active roster. No, his name was Coxton. There he is. Can I get Alex Bowman thrown in? And then I just want to see if I can get like a 50 grade prospect of some kind. I guess I could look at middle infielders too. No, you're not a defense first shortstop, you're a defense only shortstop. I would actually offer a bit more if I could get Mike Logan out of this. I actually really like him as a player. And he seems like he has a pretty well-rounded skill set. I'm trying to see if there's an interesting offensive player I could offer you. What if I offered you Jose Sandoval? Oh, I can't because I just drafted you last season. That's right. No, you'll never give up Mike Logan. And I guess that's fair. He's a really great prospect. Jesus Rivera. You're pretty raw. He needs to think about it. I don't think he's that good a hitter. No, I don't want to. I don't want to risk any like him deciding that they don't want to make the deal. Overmeyer's not that good. I don't think I'm just gonna take this trade. It still gets me two pretty decent players. Oh, I could use relievers. Could always use more relievers. Bobby Schmidt could be a starter with a bit of love. Would you give me Mr. Schmidt? No, he wants more. Could I get Jim Shaw? Alright, I will submit this offer and see what he thinks about it. And then for right now, we're going to go ahead and do some arbitration deals. Andy Cullen, I will happily offer you your $2.8 million. Steve, I think it's time to move on from you. I think it's time to go ahead and let you find a new team. You only want $1 million. I can't really afford to give that up. Kari Sivanen, you have one job and you did it badly. You're gone. I'm just going to non-tender you. I'm not even going to entertain the idea of keeping you. I got to be able to do better at catcher than Navarez, right? Jake Metzler and Luis Jimenez. Jimenez. What the actual fuck? I know you had a pretty good season. I am not paying you $6 million. That dog ain't gonna hunt. I'm probably gonna sim a day, and then I'm probably gonna see if I can trade you, because that's absurd. On no planet, even this one, are you worth that much money. I'll give you your $850. Yeah, it's just not worth it to me. I am not paying $6 million for a third baseman that's so deeply flawed in so many ways. Let's hand out some minor league extensions. Rob Runge, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to instantly put you on the 40-man. So I don't have to worry about losing you. Because I guarantee you, you're going to be my backup catcher next year. Navarez can't handle it. Joel Fernandez. Remember, 2 wins gets you an offer. And sure. Yeah, you're a good defender, but you've never been able to hit. Except weirdly for that 1 year where you were basically the starting catcher, you hit okay in your rookie year. But yeah, you're a bad hitter. So I'm probably gonna see if I can find somebody else to take you off my hands. Mate, you're getting a repeat of your... That's what I'm offering you. Wow, I apparently pissed him off by offering the league minimum. Well, he can deal with it. Whatever. Dodgers want a little bit more. What if I actually drop Bowman? Because I like Shaw better than Bowman. Submit the offer. No, huh? Alright then, we're going to change the shop. Because I really want a good player that's worth my time. I will freaking let Jordan Diaz play third base before I ever consider giving Jose Jimenez $6 million. I'm honestly insulted that is what is being offered to me. Okay, holy shit, I'm getting a lot of interesting offers. You are not worth 13 million, my guy. Hey! Excuse me. Cameron Williams is a really good player, but I want to make sure. Huh. No, I don't think I believe in that. Fisher's got a really good track record of being an excellent all-around player. I mean, maybe. Alright, I need to start narrowing it down. So let's look at second base. Yeah, Victor Salinas, I'm glad that you've had a decent career since you've left, but I don't want you back, not at that price. Nestor Rodriguez doesn't do it for me. Josh Reed, no. Nate Lee, definitely not. Bobby Williams has never hit in the minor leagues. That's a pass. Mike Husky. Maybe. Why do you like him so much? I mean, I guess he is a good hitter. And he did get rushed to the majors. So there's every expectation that I would send him to AAA and gave him some time to grow, that he might be even better. Maybe. I remember Robbie Roche. You were briefly on my team. I don't want you back. Jonathan Piazza's interesting, but his arm is so awful, I don't think that's worth the risk. You're basically Luis Jimenez. I have one of those already. Here's my issue with Danny Fisher. If this is the line I could count on getting every year, I would be over the moon. And I would be delighted. Or even this line. But we have to remember that this line and this line are also possible. Fisher's got a lot of potential, though. Let me just look at infielders. And then if I can't find a good offer among the infielders, I'll switch to starters, and that's probably where I'll end my search. I don't want Mike Burrows back. Oh, I like you a lot. You're a not a great third baseman, but you're a hell of a hitter. Mr. Gastelum, are you what I'm looking for? Great discipline, decent contact, good all-around power. Kind of an up and down minor league track record, though. Is the problem that you just don't have a starting job, or is the problem that you're not very good? I might come back to him. Mike Hutton, again, solid all around. Bobby Williams, solid all around. What I'm not seeing is great contact hitting. Oh, hang on. Jonathan Manjarrez here. Is a good to great hitter with a really great glove. Manjarrez might be the new leader here. I might come back to him. I don't like trading with the Yankees if I can avoid it, though. I don't want to make them better and therefore make myself worse. No. Dave Gonzalez would be an awfully nice upgrade at shortstop, except he's basically Luis Jimenez, so I don't want to mess with that. If I'm going to pay $1 million for a third baseman, he'd better damn well be an all-around excellent one. Which is the issue I keep running across. Yeah, again, it's the Luis Jimenez profile. Okay, you're Luis Jimenez on steroids. Because you're an amazing contact, gap power, and oh, I'm taking Castillo. Why wouldn't I want him over these other choices? Castillo just seems like the perfect player to me. I'm going to see if they'll give me something else. They probably won't, but I'm going to at least check. How about Mike Davis? You won't even put the guy in your 40-man. You can't think very highly of him. No, you're very keen on keeping Mike Davis. Understandable, so would I. Randy Correas. No. Jordan Green. No. You might give me John Flores, maybe? No. Robbie Morse, yes. Nope. I'm just curious to see if I can give him some besides Hoskins. Are you fucking kidding me? You'll take Mike Lugo for a flat upgrade at third base. Do it. And then I can trade Hoskins for somebody else. That's a no-brainer. I'm going to advance one day, and then I'm going to offer Hoskins up again. Perfect. A bunch of people have signed extensions. I just want to look at pictures. And I honestly will look at relievers, too, just because I know we were really hurting for relievers last season. If I can get a really tremendous reliever out of this trade, I will take that. Like an RJ Burgos, for instance. That is one fine-looking relief pitcher. Yeah, give me Burgos, and then I'll see if I can get you to give me additional players. Okay, if I can get Danny Agosto, you might be willing to offer me, say, what about Mario Lujan? I don't think I'm not that interested in him anyway. I don't want an extreme. Eric Logue, I think, would be a pretty nice choice here. No, you don't want to give up Eric Logue, huh? Eric Domoleski? You just got him, so you won't trade him. Like, Chris Breckheimer, you're just asking for trouble if I let you pitch in Baltimore. I like Phil O'Connor, if you wouldn't mind giving him to me. No. Can I get Steve Milner? And what would it take to get me... You want Milet? You can have him. I might even see if you'll throw in someone else like Phil O'Connor now. It's close. I want to see if I can get one more player out of you. Now he wants actually decent prospects, so I'm less likely to pull the trigger on this. Can I drop Augusto? Yeah, I think this is fine. We're basically dumping a bunch of prospects. We're getting some really good ones in return. I mean, Burgos is the key to this deal, but the rest of it's actually also quite good. So I'm going to hit complete trade. And then I want to look at waivers and DFA, and I will happily add you to the 40-man. I need you to make some room on the 40-man, though. But just getting to free agency will take care of some of this issue. Navarez, I'm going to go ahead and non-tender you. I don't actually want you anymore. Surely no one is dumb enough to take my Loogie and give me anyone decent, right? Oh, first of all, instantly, prospects only if I'm getting this many responses. Not Mike Marzola. Not Jake Todd. Nelson Lopez. No. Yeah, maybe. Like, what do I care, right? I'm literally just trading players to get rid of them. Gabe Strickland is a borderline starter. Mr. Strickland, I'm going to force you to be a starter, and I want you to figure out if you can handle being one, and just see how you turn out. All right. Who would we want to think about taking off the 40-man? We'll give that some thought here in a minute. I think I'll wait until free agents file to see who else might be leaving the team. I kind of wish we hadn't given Reese his raise, but I'm at least willing to give him another shot. Holy shoot, my noob here actually got a, was the batting champion this season. Neat. It doesn't really make much of a difference to me. I just wanted a better third baseman. Gold glove for Sonny Hoskins and Jake Metzler. Well, you can take your gold glove to Washington and enjoy your time there. Maybe you'll be in a better position. I don't know. Moreno. And that's it. Oh, and Dave Johnston. That's good. You are not a better hitter than freaking... I guess you were technically slightly better. Oh, nice. I got the Rookie of the Year. That was not intended. I had no idea he had been that good. But, I mean, he won a batting title in his first season. Oh, man, no Manager of the Year for me. Disappoint. Moreno did win his third MVP. I did not expect that, but I will happily take it. Schneider's going to need some more time to recover. That's fine. Someone asked, is Tyler Brown the guy that I had? Yes. This is the guy that y'all were thinking. Holy shit, does he want a lot of money? Well, he's turned out to be quite the player, but I'd still rather have Solis. So I'm fine with that. Alright, what kind of money do I have to spend this offseason? I have a fair bit. And without any really big players needing a raise, Moreno is the issue. If Moreno opts out, I'm going to have to find a way to make enough money to pay him. I guess I can get locked to sign long term, can I? Probably not. Okay. So I've replaced at third base. I could still use an upgrade at shortstop, or second, or right field, or another starter. I'm going to have to start clearing off some 40-man space, because there's a lot of players here that I'd like to keep. And I'm not going to keep bad players just for the sake of, yeah. Okay, I have 2 spots open on my 40-man. Campos, I'm going to trade you. Nobody's gonna offer anyone? Fine, I will waive him. If someone claims him, they claim him. Alright. Number one, obvious choice. Schneider's going on the 40-man. That's a no-brainer. Burgos, 40-man. Carter, definitely 40-man. Delgado, 40-man? Didn't I just trade for you? No, I drafted you. Yeah, definitely 40-man for you. Oh, it's full. I need to make some more room. I have 4 catchers on the roster. I don't need Rodriguez. Can I get anything for you if I trade you? Nope. Alright, so Rodriguez, I'm going to pass you, try to get you through waivers. So I can add Delgado. Batchelder, I'm going to try to get you through waivers too. So that I can make sure that O'Connor is on the 40-man. Enrique Gonzalez, I think you have a world of potential, but I've only got so many places to play people. Amaya's too useful. I'm hoping we can at least get up to spring training to get this taken off, because I don't want him pitching in the majors. I want him enjoying his time in AAA for a couple of seasons and see if he can build up to being an actual starter. Alright, that's all fine. And then we're going to see what happens in a bit here. Oh, I have to activate some people, don't I? And he needs a 40-man roster spot. And so does he. Shit. Alright. Saunders, removed. Cullen, added. Banda. And Morales. You can both be removed. No, Banda for sure. Oh, so Pinheiro is damn good, isn't he? I definitely don't want to lose him to the Rule 5. Blop. Josh Stark. We can waive him. There we go. And a bunch of them got claimed. I'm not surprised. I had to get people through waivers. Claim them to your heart's content. Hall of Fame voting. Who we got here? Nolan Arenado, easy choice. Cody Bellinger, easy choice. Rafael Devers, I say yes. I'm going to vote for McCutchen, even though I don't think it's going to matter. I'll vote for Chris Sale again, but I don't think he's going to make it either. No to Rogers or Rocker. Yes to Real Muto and Ramirez. Ryan McMahon is decent, but I don't think he's good enough to get in the Hall, not at an overcrowded position like first base. I mean, none of these other starters really leap out at me and say, please put me in the Hall. Not even Shane Bieber, for that matter. There's someone else who got a bunch of votes that I can try to push over the top. It's not lost on me that Gary Sanchez is over 500 homers. I just don't think overall his skill set makes him a worthy Hall of Fame catcher. I'm sorry, a guy whose average is 225 is not a Hall of Famer. I don't care how good the rest of his skill set is. He better be a fucking pitcher for having that bad. Or an amazing defensive catcher like Real Muto for me to vote for him. I've got my limits. Yeah, I think this is reasonable. I don't see anyone else here that I feel like I have to vote for because they're so amazing. I'm going to go ahead and submit the ballot. There we go. Campos and Botchelder both slid through. I think I'm going to wait for free agency until after the Rule 5 and until after I see how everything else shakes out. I'm not even going to look at the Rule 5. I'm basically going to wait and see who's around at the end of spring training, and then I'll probably end up getting rid of some players. Yeah, I don't want to take anybody. I'm probably going to lose a couple people in the Rule 5. I doubt I'm going to care, though. Oh, Bobby Alvarado. He's actually fairly decent. I'm a little bit sad about losing him. Tiny bit. Okay, now that the Rule 5 is over, Nate Lang is still flagged as a Rule 5 player. Game, please stop. Stop the nonsense. Because the status of the Rule 5 should stop, and maybe I have to wait till the beginning of the preseason, maybe? Let's try that. Let's see if that gets us anything. A bunch of people are getting traded. That's a shame for both of them. Huh. Juan Ocasio signed with Houston. I wish you well, my friend. Alright, surely now Nate Lang is no longer considered... Are you kidding me? I think this is actually a bug in OOTP where players are just eternally considered Rule 5 draft picks. That's not how that works. Once he's been on your roster for a full year, he's no longer a Rule 5. That's definitely a bug. Or maybe I just have to keep him till opening day? I don't know. I'll be a little bit salty if I have to turn around and give him right back. But I'm not going to keep Nate Lang on the roster unless I have a damn good reason for doing it. Jeff Phipps, his stamina's improved a bit. No other big shockers. My spring training roster is going to be incredibly full, so I am eager to see how things work out for us. Any elite level prospects I need to move around? Gillen could probably repeat high A. Yeah, there's nobody here that I definitely plan. I mean, I'll probably give Gould a shot in spring training. He's a decent defender, right? He's okay. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Batchelder, Gould. Soto. Star. That looks good. Go ahead and set all of the lineups and things. Oh god, no. When the season starts, Metzler is not my fucking leadoff guy. Like, not in a billion years. But I'll settle on it. I'll accept it for now. It's the spring training season, so we're going to go ahead and do a 6-man rotation. I can dig it. Let's go ahead and start playing through spring training. Okay, Chris Schneider all of a sudden looks like an amazing pitcher. I don't know whether that's true or not, but we're certainly going to give him a try. We don't really have the flexibility to be too picky about that. Kevin White's getting a bit better. Nebuchadnezzar Newton is getting a bit better. Some improvements here. All looks excellent. I'm just going to sim right past any injuries that we get. Because it's not really... We have so many players on the roster, it just doesn't affect very much. Wasn't Victor Vega one of the characters from Pulp Fiction? Wasn't that, what's-his-face's character? John Travolta's? Or is that Vinny Vega? There was one played, God, I can't think of the character's name now. On Reservoir Dogs, the one who cut off Mr. Orange's ear. I can't remember. If you know who I'm thinking of, please put it in the comments. I'd be very appreciative of that. Okay, first of all, Steve Reeves is now hot stinking garbage. What got bad for you all of a sudden? Your control is gone. Well, that's an easy choice. See you later, dirtbag. Thank you for making my job a tiny bit easier. Mr. Soto, you are injured for 1 week. I don't care. You're going back to the minors anyway. Alright, right now I have 22 pitchers. Dear God, no. Okay, Nate Lang is still showing as a freaking Rule 5 draft pick. This is not acceptable, OOTP. He is not a Rule 5 draft pick anymore. He only has a status for 1 season. And I had him on the roster the whole season. I would like to not have him anymore. Maybe it's got to be the opening day or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out to do with him in a bit. Who's my starting rotation? It's probably Locke, Schneider, Mata as a top 3. Then Elliott and Vega? Morales definitely needs to make this roster. He's had 3 consecutive seasons. Who's got the most left to learn of the pitchers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think this is going to be the rotation in some way, shape, or form. Because the only person I would send back down is Vega, and I can't because I'd have to put him through waivers. Or Elliott. Same thing applies, though. So, relievers. Delgado to the minors. Forsythe to the minors. Milner to the minors. Moreno to the minors. Carter to the minors. I still have way too many pitchers. Okay. Like, way too many. Alright. Burgos to the minors. Kessler to the minors. Phipps to the minors. Now, how many do I have? 14. I still need to get rid of 2 more pitchers. Well, 1 more for sure. Lang is the obvious choice. And I'm very sad that I cannot be rid of him. Porras, you walk 6 batters per 9. That's not good enough. I'm going to trade you and see if I can get something of interest for you. I'm getting offers, so if someone else wants to give me an interesting player for Mr. Porras, I will happily take it. Give me some of that Bubba Krieger. And Danny Gallagher. Can I get both? I don't want both that badly. Boom. I just wanted them off the roster. Alright, we're down to 13 pitchers, and I still think 13 is probably too many. But I think 13 is fine. Alright, so let's nuke the staff, and let's build it the way we'd like to build it. Alright, Tim Locke. Ace. Tim, you've pitched 2 consecutive seasons of 180 plus innings. I think it's time to take off the pitch count. We'll set it at 100 now. Mr. Schneider, you have never topped 100 leagues in the minor leagues. Your pitch count's going to be 80. And we're going to see how you do before we give you more time. Mata, you're the number 3. Now, I've got 3 pitchers, 2 pitchers for 3 spots. 3 pitchers for 2 spots. And here's the thing. I would love to get another lefty in the rotation. And Morales is my only other choice. I'm a little concerned about his walk rate, but he's proven, at least in the minors, that he can handle it. Like, his walk rate has been pretty consistent. It's been a little high, but consistent. I'm going to go ahead and have Morales be the number 4 starter. And we're going to give Dan Elliott another shot as the 5th starter. Which means Victor Vega is my emergency starter long reliever. And then we're going to look at all of the other relievers. So, closer. Castaneda, you turned in a pretty fine season when I let you be a closer. So I'm going to go ahead and set you up as the closer again. And I'm going to let you be the 8th plus closer, because you actually have a lot of stamina. You can probably throw more pitchers than some of these other guys can. All right. Now here's my big issue right now that all of a sudden leaps out at me. I only have one lefty in the bullpen, and his name is Nate Lang. And I really don't want Nate Lang to be my lefty guy. You know what? I'm not going to be held prisoner by a stupid gimmick. I'm just going to go ahead and let him go back to the Astros. This is bullshit, by the way. This is not correct, and I hope they fix it later on, but I don't care enough to keep him. Now I have the flexibility to call up any of these guys that might happen to be a lefty. Really? Milliner, you're up. You're going to be my lefty specialist. All right. Udaka and Cullen, you're going to be my 7th inning guys. And then it's going to be, for both Kalna and for Lee, I'm going to make them long relievers as well as middle relief. Let me just quickly click off and then click back. Yeah, I think this is going to work out okay, assuming that people stay healthy. And even if they don't, I think we've done a really great job of acquiring a bunch of depth. I think we're a much deeper team now with a lot of talented players in the high minors. And I really do think that we'll have a better, more successful season. All right. So, I now have to get rid of 7 more players off to be hitters. Obvious choices here, right? Mr. Gould, minors. I don't need 3 catchers. Washington is better defensively. Runge is the better hitter. Johnson's ability to catch is slipping a little bit. That is a little bit troubling. And maybe it'll get better, but maybe it won't. So then I actually want a more capable defensive backup. We're going to go ahead and let Washington be the backup this season. All right. Star to the minors. Batchelder to the minors. You don't have a major league contract. Shut up. No, you don't. Do you? I mean, you're an interesting enough player that I wouldn't mind keeping you, but not if I have to put you on the 40-man, because I have to clear someone else off the 40-man. Corb, back to AAA with you. I need you to try to earn more reps before I just hand them to you. Gonzalez to the minors, I think. O'Connor to the minors. Which of my shortstops do I keep? Batchelder is the best hitter of the three. Velez is the best utility guy. Fine, I'll put Batchelder on the 40-man, then send him to the minors. I think that works for me. Alright, there's my 26. I'm going to go up to opening day. You want me to play 500? I'm certainly going to try. Alright, let's set our lineups. Chris Schneider, you're a frontline starter, and you're not that great a hitter. So I'm going to go ahead and say no to you being a two-way player in the majors. For now. Maybe things will change, and I'll get convinced to put you in. Alright. Now for the fun part. The part every year where we set up our lineup. Danny Moreno, you are the number 3 hitter of my heart, as well as the number 3 hitter of my lineup. No, Solis is number 4. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Jordan Diaz hits second as a designated hitter. Here's my issue with Castillo being leadoff. If he hits like he did last season or hits for 350 or above, he's a perfect leadoff hitter. But if he doesn't, the rest of his skill set's not great, but we're going to try it. Dave Johnson's going to hit 5th. Then Amaya hits 6th. Then Yeager. Then Allison and Metzier. Metzler. Whatever. This is fine. I'm more than okay with this particular setup for people pinch hitting and whatnot. Manny, how did you hit as the other half of this platoon? Not great. Not great at all. I'm going to send you to the minors. I think that's the right call. And I'm going to call up Gonzalez. Because I believe Gonzalez is a right-handed hitter, right? No, he's a lefty. That was the issue from last season, wasn't it? That I had Castillo be the right-handed hitter because no one else could hit right-handed. Corb can. But he also really struggled in both the minors and in the majors last season. Danielson's a lefty. He'd be a great bat off the bench. That's not what I'm looking for. I guess it can be Castillo. I don't love it, but I've heard worse ideas. Go ahead and regenerate the depth chart, please. And then I want to copy the lineup, and I'm going to go ahead and have what's-his-face play against righties. Yeah. This is acceptable. It's not perfect, but it's acceptable. So what are we hoping goes well this season? One thing we're hoping is we're placing a lot on the young shoulders of Mr. Castillo here. And I have no reason to believe he can't handle it. But I also am a little skeptical about him playing as well as he did last season. But we'll see. And Amaya bouncing back, which I think is the bigger issue. If he's hitting 250 or 260, we're a better team. We're just a better team from top to bottom. If he's racking up big hits when we need them, playing his usual extremely competent defense, that's what you look for in a player, right? We got Jordan Diaz nicely sandwiched in as the number 2 hitter. There's some real good stuff that could potentially happen with this lineup. But I think the biggest thing that could happen to push us into the stratosphere this season is just a bullpen that's healthier and a step forward by some of our starting pitchers. A lot is on the left shoulder of one Chris Schneider. And I think he can handle it, but I'm not 100% confident about that. But the only way to find out is to actually let him go ahead and pitch. That's just where we are right now. We have to see if his changeup fastball slider combo serves him well and makes him the latest pitching prospect that we create. He's had issues with walks in the minors, but his strikeout to walk ratio has been pretty solid. That's been consistent, which is important. His ground ball percentage has been extremely consistent, which is even more important. He doesn't typically allow too many home runs. And his walks have been a bit of an issue, but it's not crippling. So I think we're going to see... I think he's going to be a decent pitcher for us. Which is why I took him third with the third-round draft pick. Is Locke an ace? I really don't know. But what I do know is that he made a very big step forward in 2037. And then made an even bigger step forward the following season. Like, he turned into, this is a pretty good pitcher, to, oh, I don't have to get hit quite so hard, to, oh, I can strike people out, to, let me keep the home runs down a bit more. Locke is going to be a big part of this team's future. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he can handle it. Curious, isn't it? We have third-round pick Tim Locke, third-round pick Chris Schneider, Jordan Mata, who we acquired from Detroit, who was drafted in the first round, Luis Morales, who we acquired in a trade, but who was drafted in back end of the first round. And then Dan Elliott, who was our own first-round draft pick from a few seasons ago. The bullpen, I'm still not sure what to make of it. A lot is going to depend on if players can stay healthy, and if the players who do stay healthy can contribute in a positive fashion. Milner, I have no idea what to expect from him. I have none. But I'm also going to let him pitch against. No, you're actually much better against lefties, so you're actually a good loogie. Yeah. A lot's just going to depend on who can be healthy and who can pitch effectively. And I think if we can make sure our bullpen is stronger, and this time we have reinforcements on the way. We have plenty of highly talented relief pitchers that are just waiting for an opportunity. And Carter, if you were left-handed, I would very strongly have considered calling you up. But I don't mind you starting the year in AAA. And there's even more talented pitching on the way. So this is all very good news and very good to know about. So, it's all going to come down to really two players. And if these players perform at or above our expectations, we should have a very successful season. And if they don't, we're going to have a lot of trouble. The first is Rookie of the Year, Angel Castillo. He looks like he could be a great one. That he's basically the best version of Luis Jimenez. And the other is Chris Schneider. That's who the season rides on. If both of those young players, Schneider the rookie, Castillo the second-year man, can build on their abilities, I think we're going to go far. And I think we'll make the playoffs. We might have a medium-deep run in the playoffs, but I think there's a ton of potential here. Androas, I think you can be called up to high A. All right, Danny Aragon, I'm going to take over your development, and I'm going to tell you where to go next. You had an outstanding season in rookie ball, and I think my next objective is to get you to play in A ball. Let's get you testing. That movement worries me a lot, rather. A lot. But we've got a lot of minor league depth. I think this year, if we did have bullpen injuries again, I think we'd be able to recover from them a bit easier than we did last season. Nate Forsythe could be a damn good starter. I'm a little PO'd. I'm still a little bit pissed about Nate Long. I don't know why the game is like, you have to give him back. No, I don't. He was on my roster the full season. I get to do whatever I want to with him now, but whatever. We'll see what happens this season. I'm excited to see what we can manage, if we can make the playoffs again. It's been a bit, right? It's shockingly been an entire season since we made the playoffs. Well, it's been a really long time since we won the World Series. It's almost been 10 years. Which is disconcerting. Any contract negotiations we might want to start? I would love to get Tim Locke to sign a long-term deal, but I don't think he'd go for it. And I really need to be careful about spending a lot of extra cash because of this ticking time bomb. If Moreno doesn't opt out, I'm going to breathe a sigh of relief, and we're hopefully going to be able to spend some money and maybe make some other alterations to the team. if he doesn't sign, and I've got to find like $50 million to pay him, I will, but I won't be happy about it. Oh, Danny Moreno. What a fucking guy. Like, you are already, based on WAR, and only based on WAR, you're flirting with possible Hall of Fame status already. And you haven't even been in the league that long. You already got 230 homers. You're at 1,200 hits. A decent number of stolen bases, although your stolen base rates suck. You strike out only slightly more than you walk. You are an incredible player. And there's Bob Solis, who has turned out to be just a redonkulous power hitter. Like, 277 home runs in a career that spans, 6 seasons? Is utterly ridiculous. And he's going to hit his 300th home run this year. So will Moreno too, I bet. No, Moreno probably not. Let's not ignore Jordan Diaz, who's had a very successful start to his career as well. We have a very young, very talented offensive core. Amaya, I'm worried about. I'm worried about you. Because you're not an outstanding overall... You're a great player. But your offensive margins are a bit more thin than they are for Moreno or Solis. Like, the only thing that has stopped Solis from being worth at least 5 wins was an injury. That's the only reason he isn't even better than he looks right now. Oh, Moreno. Like, Jack Leiter is obviously the best choice I ever made. But Moreno is definitely number 2. And it's not overwhelmingly close either. Like, look at this. Franklin freaking Herrera. And Herrera's had some good seasons. Don't get me wrong. He's had some very good seasons. But he's been a decent to average starter, not a multi-time MVP. He's only even gone to the All-Star game once. Would I like Herrera now? You know what? I probably would. But this is just... He's the Danny Moreno-est player to ever play until the other Danny Moreno in my system is ready. He'll still be more Danny Moreno, though. That's to be clear. Alright. With that, we're going to go ahead and end the episode. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the episode. Next season's going to be a big one. And if the 2 players I mentioned earlier can carry their load, I think we're going to see another playoff run. And it might be a deeper one at that. And if the injuries come, the injuries come. We've built up a fair bit of depth. I'm a little more confident in our ability to withstand more injuries to the bullpen than I was last season. But... until next time, this has been Avindian. Thank you for watching. And I bid you good day.